Greetings, my fellow slingers. It's your trusted dungeon master, Brian. I hope everyone out there is enjoying listening to the podcast as much as we're enjoying recording it. And that brings me to a minor problem I had with recording, more precisely, my mic. Yeah, it appeared that the way that I had the microphone attached to the boom mic didn't quite pick me up as best as I hoped that it would. But it's still a very doable episode. So please enjoy it as best as you can. Episode 4. Everyone needs balls. Greetings, fellow slingers. Welcome back to Roll the Hard 20 podcast. I'm your trusted DM, Brian, along with my Hard Slingers.
Yeah.
So far from trusted.
Trusted, yes, indeed. Okay. Anybody want to lead us in on a prayer of where we were last week?
How it finished up? I can do that. Which
Listen to the
is
silence of the crickets.
we made our way to the docks. I should say back to the docks. We haven't been here
After a
before.
very long fight.
After a very, very long fight.
Lots of missing.
And as soon as we got here, we saw a minotaur being oppressed.
Oppressed,
I don't-
yes.
Was
Yeah.
he
It was
a
being
very
oppressed or
good-
being
Racist.
harassed?
That's not
I would say
racist. That's pointing out
harassed.
racism.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. So you guys came over the crest of all this cobbled rockway that you were transferring along, and you look down, you see the docks before you. They're just a dilapidated set of buildings and docks,
Good
but it's
word.
not from age, it's from excessive use and just lack of upkeep. You saw these two gleaming silver points catching the light, the rays of the sun, and you realize that they're the horns of a minotaur who's had his horns dipped in some kind of a silver metal. He was accompanied by 3 of his friends, and they were surrounded by a group known as the Free Traders, who were then telling him that because he and his crew were in the rears to the Free Traders, that they would have to give up their ship as well as do a little indentured servitude into the mines. Edinger looks down and he's witnessing this, and he could see the Minotaur starting to get in a stance, and all of a sudden the cutlasses come out from these roustabouts and cut down the 3 humans that were accompanying the Minotaur. The Minotaur then pulled out this large great axe, and that was where we left off. Edinger kind of shrugs and looks down that way, and he says, "You see that Minotaur down there? He's first mate of the ship that can get us where we need to go. I suggest you help him. Remember, little Tobin depends on you, and by extension, his ship."
How do we help with him? I mean, he should
Well,
be
I
able to help
suggest you
himself.
try to keep him alive. It looks like
Quite
there's...
this, as
I-
I pull out
I,
an
st-
arrow
I
out of
start
my
one
walking
down there.
forward and pull out a dagger, getting ready to throw it.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Which two?
Ruby and Vratislav.
Bad.
You said it. What kind of roll? Attack roll?
perception.
No, perception. Oh, okay. Sorry. My own personal perception's very off. Let's see. It is I don't know. I'm counting. 14.
14. As you're pulling out your bow and you're getting ready to sight in the nearest one, you feel her kind of tug on your shirt sleeve. And she's looking back the way you guys came, and she's just kind of pointing, like with her whimpering ways, that something has caught her attention behind you guys.
There's something behind us.
All right. As I still have my dagger cocked, I turn around to see what's behind me.
As you look back, you see the cobbled road that brought you here. There appears to be movement on either side of the road, making its way towards you. Large numbers of figures making their way towards you.
That's a
And
lot
I-
of people.
At this point, you are at a point where it's move forward or move to the rear. But one way will definitely be better than the rest. What do you all do?
Let's move towards the Minotaur.
Yep. Run
Then
forward.
let's roll some initiative. Yeah.
Oh.
Roll high.
Eldon.
5.
5. Very good. Vratislav,
16.
16. Raleigh,
22.
22. Rafu,
I'm gonna hang out in the back with a 7.
7. Ruby,
18.
18. And I forgot to roll this one, dude.
Oh, while we're doing this, what type of action is using a potion?
Let's think about this. It'll be either a move action or a attack action. We'll
Okay.
do that. So you could do one or the other. Drink it and attack, or move and drink it. Does
Okay.
that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Raleigh, you're up.
I'm going to pull up my bow, quickly pull back an arrow, and aim for the back of the neck of the guy directly in front of the Minotaur.
Very good.
Would I have advantage against this?
Yes, you will.
That's going to be a 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay, and that's going to be for 13 points of damage.
13. Very good hit.
Sneak attack is pretty good.
Ruby.
And I'm going to drink that potion, by the way.
I'm sorry?
I'm going to drink that potion.
Okay.
What am I rolling?
It's a 1d4 plus 2.
Cool, max.
nice.
Very good.
Nice.
Okay, Ruby is going to follow suit with a Eldritch Blast at the one that is to the, I guess, the right of her. Oh, that's probably going to be a miss.
That is a tragedy.
All right. And that's all she's got.
Vratislav.
Right. I'm going to charge at the enemy that is to the left of the Minotaur. Doing so, raising my long sword up above, bringing it down,
Beat him up.
and missing.
Oh.
This sounds familiar.
I
see
hate
this-
this is very different.
You see this longsword cleave across right as just barely missing this guy's back of his head, and the Minotaur looks beyond him and sees you and doesn't know what to do, but he doesn't look that gift bull in the mouth. As far as these guys are concerned, they now know that there's somebody down on the dock, and they assume that he was the one that fired the arrow. The first one will turn around and attack Vratislav. 10.
Miss.
Miss. And the other ones will go in a semicircle around and try to attack the Minotaur,
Okay.
which will hit.
Yay.
Yay.
Points.
Low
1 point.
damage.
Low damage.
That's what we like to see.
They'll hit as well.
That's the opposite. of
Are these the new dice you got? These are
They
pretty cool
are.
looking.
They are.
I'm going to go chuck him out the window.
So they're just like ganging up on him right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They
Except for the one that turned on me.
Okay. We need to take these guys out. Try to take some of the heat off of this Minotaur.
This Minotaur is getting rocked as you see these cutlasses come across and just start slicing him across the belly. The last one of the 5 tries to attack him and misses. The Minotaur is just barely able to get his great axe and deflect the attack right before it sinks home. But he did get hit 3 times, unfortunately. And you see the Minotaur. After that, he kind of flexes. You hear his sinew in his arms begin to pop and crack as he brings this great axe down on the one right beside him. And he feebly misses as the blood is making this axe twist in his hand. Rafu.
Rafu wants to move up, but I don't know if I could do my full movement speed and
You can get all the
there.
way.
All right.
Just barely.
To the first guy.
So the
Number
first
2.
guy to the left of the Minotaur. And greatly miss. I'm in position now.
Nice try, Rafu. You get him next time.
So I'm not sure how close I can get, but I'm going to try and do the same.
You're not quite up there yet.
All right. I'm just going to ready my action in case one comes near me, and I'm going to swing at him then.
Protect me.
Who's back there with Edinger still?
I am.
Okay.
Riley is back here.
Edinger's gonna move closer to you and do his best to try to provide cover. You see him lay out his hand, and you see this arcane bolt fly out down towards the mass of roustabouts. And it strikes for 5 points of damage, slaying the one that was right in front of Vratislav as he crumples over this burning hole in his chest, and he falls into the water, this murky, dirty-ass water.
Was that the one I shot in the back?
Yes, it was. That's what everybody's been beaten on. So, Raleigh, you're back up.
I'm going to take a few steps forward and shoot again to the one that's in front of the Minotaur.
Okay.
And that'll be a hit with 24.
Okay.
For 12 points of damage.
Very good hit. Ruby.
Ruby's going to go again for a Eldritch Blast
That will hit, by the way.
from behind Eldon. And she's going to just peek out behind him, shoot her hand, and hope for the best on the guy in front of her. Max damage.
Max damage. Is that the same one that
And-
he just struck, by the way?
Yes, and
Okay.
that also, I would like. Oh, that's it. Actually, that's good. Not gonna do it.
Describe this guy's death by Eldritch Blast.
She just puts out her hand, closes her eyes, and just shoots it out.
So she just wings it then.
She does. She does. She still doesn't quite have the confidence to watch somebody get hit, so it's still kind of.
Well, I'm sure that will be more than amusing as the time goes on and we start getting some crit fails in there.
As that whizzes by, watch where you're shooting that thing.
Vratislav.
Sorry, I'm still getting used to this.
I'm going to charge at the one to the left of the Minotaur. Go on to the next one here.
Get narrow on that dock there, right next to the water's edge.
Yes. As I run up, long sword over my head as I run, and 17 to hit.
That'll strike.
This is going much differently than last time.
Yes.
We're
A
hitting
little better.
everything.
That is 10 points of damage
10
as
points.
I bring my long sword down on him.
Oh, you see him. This fear takes over his eyes. I mean, these are people that are used to fighting in groups. You know, like pack animals. That's where they derive their strength. That's where they get their moral intensity. And here they are. They're being knocked off one by one by one. He looks
picked
at you,
apart.
and all he could do is try to bring his own cutlass back upon you in retaliation. 13?
Miss.
Miss. He misses. Meanwhile, the other two behind the large Minotaur decide they're going to try to dual attack him at the same time. And they both feebly miss. The Minotaur then turns around and brings his axe down upon the one right to his right flank. 12. That'll hit for 11 points of damage.
Nice.
Rafu.
Rafa, seeing that attack happen behind the Minotaur, wants to use his full movement. Actually, it's less than his full movement, and attack the dual attackers. And that will be for 21.
That'll hit. Now, does that hit both of them or just one of them?
Just one of them.
Okay. Now, one of them's been hit. The other one has not. Do you
Oh, the
wanna-
one to the
Oh,
left.
yeah. Okay, that's one that's been hit.
Or the
Okay.
one, yeah, my left. And that would be 14 points of damage.
14 damage. And what was this weapon? Your great axe?
My great axe, yes.
As you bring this great axe down, you see him raise his cutlass up to try to stop it, and this rusted piece of metal just breaks in half. The axe continues to go through and just cleaves his head twain. He then crumples over, and he too falls into the drink.
Sleeps with the fishes.
Eldon.
Seeing that there's not much space left for him to engage in combat, Eldon's gonna walk up very cautiously to behind the Minotaur, and just so he's not surprised, he's gonna call out and say, "Hello, friend. Let us help you a little bit." And then I'm going to use lay on hands to heal 3 hit points.
3.
Is that the best you can do?
I'm level 1. I have a healing pool of 5.
That means shit to me.
You see this condensation burst out of his nose with this steam and whatnot, this snot just flaking off of his pseudo goatee that he's got growing there.
I'll show you how to do this.
And then he does, did he already go? No.
Yeah.
Edinger goes. He puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, "We really need to start moving forward.
I agree.
They're progressing way too fast. There must be 20 of them back there.
Let's get
Move
going.
us forward down."
So he begins to slowly move up onto the dock. Raleigh.
I'm going to follow him moving up and pull out another arrow and fire in the face of the one that Novacek has engaged. and that's non-natural 20.
Why are
Okay.
you stealing my kills, man?
I don't, because they're there. 11 damage.
Yeah, he stole it. As he too
Thunk.
falls into the water. Ruby.
It's not kill stealing, it's kill securing.
Ruby runs up to Eldon and next to the scimitar.
Minotaur.
Minotaur, whatever.
The Seamantar.
Scimitar. And she goes, and she looks up at this giant and just amazed, just a little eyed wide, but realizes there's still one more enemy in front of her. So she peeks out from the calf and tries to shoot
So
one more.
she's under his calf,
She's like right behind,
under
like in
his,
between the
his
tail.
flowing loincloth.
Yes. Well, she doesn't really realize to look up. So
A
she,
well-shaved coin purse.
For a second, I thought he had a son or something. What the?
for the Eldritch Blast, which will be a hit
And that will hit.
for 6 points of damage.
6 points of damage. That was
But she's also very careful not to touch him, but just get underneath enough just so that way she's hiding.
don't get too
Touch
touchy.
where?
That's right. You
Well,
notice,
she's
his,
afraid
you notice
to
his
spook
legs
him.
have been shaved to a smooth. Yeah. Vratislav.
I'm going to dash up to the last enemy here. As I bring my long sword over my head and miss.
Miss. Oh no. He brings this horn out from the folds of his cloth and he blows on it, and then you hear this eerie howl come from it. It doesn't even sound like it's some kind of a horn that's in tune. It's just some gnarly, busted up horn that came from some wild animal or whatnot. And this eerie sound echoes across the water and all across the dock. And then he brings his cutlass down upon you as well. 16
Hits.
for 5 points. The Minotaur then sees how this group of people have came to his aid, reaches over and swings his battle axe down. And he misses again too. This little halfling between his legs is just, he doesn't know whether to be careful of it or to stomp it. One of the two.
Please don't stop me.
Rafu, can you bring it home?
I'm hoping to bring it home. He's going to move up and take another attack with his great axe. And miss.
Oh, is that
Natural one.
Oh, better make a dex save, handsome.
Use a different
Better.
dice. That is... I totally forgot which dice I rolled. Oh, that is 16.
Pick the higher one.
Okay. Damn it.
Putting
Taking out the direction
putting the
dice.
dice down.
Eldon.
I'm gonna
Hold this
swing
frontal.
around and go behind the enemy that's engaged with the Minotaur and swing at him.
Now, are you moving through one of his threatened squares, though, to get back there?
I'm staying within his range. And I'm gonna miss, but I didn't crit fail, so
Close.
that was close.
Well, that's definitely good.
Not a win, but not a loss.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to do a dex save here with all this water nearby.
I don't want to have to pull you out with all the chain mail and stuff.
Oh, I'm not going in there if the sword goes away.
Edinger moves closer to the Minotaur, puts his hand on him, and says,
It's good to see you again, old friend.
and with his other hand, he blasts out another one of those arcane bolts. I believe that will miss.
I swear to bejesus.
Oh, no, it actually hits.
Oh, thank goodness.
Ooh.
For 4 points of damage, and he is still alive.
God
Cool.
damn it, Edinger.
And what was it you did last time?
I
What
healed
was
the
that you
Minotaur.
did last time,
I healed the
Eldon?
Minotaur.
He's trying, okay?
Raleigh.
I go to the opposite flank of the Minotaur and I'm like, hey, let's make introductions later. And I take a fire at the, so close to the 20. But that's going to miss with 13.
13 does miss. Ruby.
So close.
Realizing that
Flashbacks.
everyone around her has missed and terrified, she realizes she might have to keep her eyes open for this one.
Definitely, because I'm behind him.
Tries with all of her might
Come on, Ruby.
for missing.
Oh, my
Jesus.
goodness. Oh, God. Vratislav.
All right, bring up my long sword, try and bring it down. 17 to hit
That will hit.
Oh, yeah.
Yay.
There we go.
for 11 points of damage.
There we go.
And you cleave him in half. As he crumples down to the deck of the dock, you see his blood eeping through the slats of the wood, just discoloring the already nasty water. You see the Minotaur look down at Edinger.
It's good to see you, old friend. Get on board the boat. We got to get out of here.
Get on the boat.
So he doesn't even wait. He doesn't assist anybody. He just starts moving through the crowd of you people. He just makes his way onto the boat.
You people.
Got the rope loose. Get in the boat.
I think we have 0 uniformity.
Now-
I don't know what that.
At this point, you guys have to get on board the boat. So we need to know who has the highest wisdom.
Probably.
Definitely not the half
me.
You will be the one that will have to steer the rudder in the back.
Am I strong enough?
We have the same wisdom.
What
Oh,
is
we
your
do?
wisdom?
15.
Okay.
What's
15.
your strength? Who's
Oh, definitely him.
you would want to row?
Okay.
So you want your strongest rowing, 2 of your strongest rowing, 1 of you working the rudder, and the other 2.
I have +3
You
strength.
you hear the Minotaur shout,
Be prepared. We're going to be followed.
and at that point you hear the door burst open on the far side of the building, and you hear feet running down the dock on the other side.
What are you waiting for? Get in the boat.
I run into the
now.
Already in boat.
I furiously
Ruby.
started
Okay,
rowing.
so everybody go ahead
Runs
and get
into
in the boat.
Double moving to the boat.
Double moving to the boat.
I'm on a boat.
Not in that way.
Ah, Jesus.
We will take this boat off the map here. Sorry, I need to lift this thing up.
Battle on the high seas.
Yeah, man.
Changing the territory.
Okay, so they have a small boat as well of 5 people. You have greater numbers, but there's only so much room to do the things you need to do. So here's what we're going to do. You are going to use your wisdom to make sure that you steer the boat straight.
Okay.
The Minotaur will tell you which direction to go. Your DC is 12.
Okay.
The rowers each need to make a check of 10 or better, strength check, to maintain staying in front. If you get 15 or better, you get an extra so many feet in front. A crit is like double the length. 2 of you guys can fire, or there appears to be some kind of a makeshift launcher on the base, like settled inside the bottom of the boat. But it'll take 2 of you people 2 full action rounds to assemble this thing.
Okay.
And it only has 4 bolts with it.
Gotcha.
So we're going to roll initiative for the boats.
All right, and then
So
for
you and their wisdom.
Ruby.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Oh no.
You rolled a 1.
But that was for initiative, right?
Yeah. That's
Yes.
for initiative. Oh,
Okay.
thank
So
God.
they're-
Does that
They're
mean our
gonna go
boat
first.
like falls up underneath us and
No, we'd like-
goes into another
No, that means
direction?
you run into them with the boat.
They're
They
gonna-
steered us into their boat.
By the way, the boats each have a threshold that you have to meet before you can cause any damage to the boats themselves. The threshold's 10. So anything over 10 points of damage will then start taking away the hit points from the boat itself. So he's going to try to make a wisdom check, and he rolls a 20.
Jeez.
So they know exactly where they're going. They start steering towards you a little bit. And 2 of his guys will start firing their bows at you. The 20, which he will try to back up,
Could you not?
and he will fail the backup. So maximum is 6 points on Edinger, because he's right up front there. Now your guys' turn. So you need to make your wisdom save.
Ruby, yeah. Okay.
You hear the Minotaur shout,
What's the matter with you? Don't you know where we're going? We're going that way. Stop using that die.
okay, now the 2 guys that
Ruby's
are
just
rowing.
so scared of being yelled at. She's getting flustered, and she just got confused.
Turn away from them. Turn towards them. Got it.
so is it a saving throw or just my strength modifier plus the 20?
Right.
Athletics
The
check.
second part. Yeah, it's like an athletics check.
Oh, okay, that works for me too.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll do it that way.
Oh, here we go.
Ooh, 14.
14? Okay. So you guys are going at your normal speed, but unfortunately, she doesn't seem to know where she's going at all. So you guys do pull out in front.
I'm rowing this
Oh, does
boat and I
Rafu?
rolled a 20.
Oh, okay. Well, where are you at? You're on that side?
It's a natural 20.
I know, but what side are right or left?
Oh, I don't know. We haven't.
I'm
discussed
on the
that.
left, he's on the right.
I'm on the right
So
hand
you're
side.
digging, you're
So
moving
we're cutting them
towards
off.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cut him off
Now,
at the pass.
the other 2 that are not rowing, what is it you want to do? Do you want to fire ranged attacks at these people? Or do you want to assemble
I'm going to tell Rally to start firing, and I'm going to get Edinger to help me assemble this thing.
He lacks the strength to do that.
Oh, Edinger?
Yeah.
If he lacks the strength, I lack the
Yeah,
strength.
Well, he's 80 years old.
oh, okay. All right.
I mean, you could help if you wish, or you could
Yeah.
fire.
I mean, I have long reach attacks.
I'm going to fire.
Yeah, go for that.
That's a 22
That'll hit.
for 10 damage.
10 damage. Okay.
I don't get sneak attack, unfortunately.
And you're assembling it?
I'm going to assemble it, and maybe I'll ask Edinger for instructions, I guess. He's probably worked
Yeah, he'll
with this
get down there
before.
and he'll help you. So instead of it taking 2 full turns, it'll take 3 full turns. But he'll help you. But at some point, you're going to have somebody assist you to mount this on the
Gotcha.
side of the ship.
Okay. When I'm ready for it, I'll call for somebody.
Right. Edinger, because he's helping you, the Minotaur's
Yelling back at you, what are you doing? You need to go that way. We're going that way.
So they are going to make another wisdom save, or wisdom.
Yes.
And you are too?
Yes.
So they keep going straight.
Oh, much better. 19 on the die.
Very good. So you start to straighten out a little, and they're going to make their strengths. And they both fail. So they start actually falling behind. But you see their front guys start pulling out bows and start aiming.
Get down.
And one of them will hit.
Get out that D8.
Number 1,
It's a Minotaur.
that's you.
That'd be Ruby.
So
yeah.
that'll be you for 5 points of damage to you.
Oh, it's your
Ruby.
Ruby's slumping.
She's slumping, but the boat doesn't require you to be physical, so you're still moving forward.
Yeah, but it won't help if she's unconscious.
You guys go ahead and make your strength for the rows.
23.
5.
5.
Start
Moving over this way,
Start
moving
moving
forward.
towards the right, away from the.
You want to fire again?
Yes, I'll fire. That'll miss.
Okay. And you're still working on this thing.
Still
It's
assembling
starting to
this contraption.
assemble. It almost looks like a ballista. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely, but it's crudely made. It doesn't look like it's meant to be that. It looks like somebody made it to be that. Does that make sense? This isn't a ballista, but we can make one.
It's
that'll
like
be-
makeshift.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone MacGyvered it.
Exactly is what it's described as. So they will make their or their wisdom first.
Ooh, that was
They'll make
very
that,
close.
and then the 2 strength rows. So they start going away from you a little bit, and their 2 guys will start firing their bows as well. And both of them miss as these arrows begin to fly wide as the distance between the 2 ships begin to get greater. Ruby, go ahead and make your wisdom save,
Ruby is going to
or
hopefully
your
not
wisdom check again.
fail. Hey.
Hey, makes it. So you guys are straightening out. Let's go ahead and go give me your rowers.
15.
19.
19. You guys are pulling ahead even more. At this point, it is now assembled.
Okay. Do I need help lifting the final thing on?
You do need some help.
So then I'm going to call the Rally. Help me with this last bit.
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay, so you guys lift this thing up, and you.
Guys made the same action.
That's what we were doing.
Yeah, we're in sync.
It's
Maybe you should
visualized
get
now.
in sync.
You guys hook this thing
We're
on
team.
the lip of the side of your rowboat here, and you see that it's got a little crank handles. You guys crank it, and one of you can now fire it at the ship.
I think this is your job.
Okay. Don't fail me now, D20. I mean, am I proficient with this?
No, you're not.
I rolled a 9,
9 with a +4.
so 13.
13. That is the AC of the ship. Okay, so go ahead and roll the damage, which is 3d10. I'm sorry, 2d10.
Oh man, I was like 3.
I mean, I'm still excited about 2d10 at this level.
That's going to be 5 damage.
That's it?
That's it. I rolled a 3. and a
Okay, so it strikes the boat, but the boat doesn't take any damage because of its threshold.
Oh, okay.
So they're still rowing, and but now they start squatting down a little bit now that they see that you have this thing, and that's one of your bolts that has been fired.
Oh yeah, because
So-
we got 4.
Yes. Oh, yeah, 3 left now. You guys will go ahead and go. Go ahead and make another wisdom.
Wisdom.
Nope.
Okay. She can't really see what's going on. She's more interested in watching you guys fire off this makeshift ballista. Go ahead and give you guys your strengths.
8.
24.
24. So you pull ahead off to the right. They're going to go ahead and do their wisdom check. They'll make it with their 2 strengths. and they begin to start curving back in this way, and then their 2 archers will fire as well. And he fumbles, so he needs to make a dex save. And he fails, and his bow snaps. The other one will fire off as well, and will hit.
Technically, we've been doing the right thing with the bow. We've been zigzagging.
Serpentine.
You right there. Is that Rothslav?
Yeah.
Okay. For 3 points of damage.
I am hurting. I am barely able to.
What's going on back there? Why are we slowing down?
I'm bleeding out.
You cowards.
As you guys are rowing, and your ship at this point is kind of zigzagging in all different directions at this point because it's hit and miss at this point.
Serpentine.
Definitely. I'd like for the front 2 people to make a perception check, which is
That's going to be the row.
Raleigh and Eldon.
I'm in the back.
Oh, you're in the back? Oh, it's Rafu.
I'm
and-
technically one line behind.
Okay.
It'd be
It looks like
Edinger.
me, Rafu, and Edinger.
Okay. So Rafu and Eldon, go ahead and make a perception check.
Not really good at this.
What did you get there, half work?
22.
22. Fail. No, just kidding.
I got
Damn
I got an 11.
You look up from your rowing position and you see, you are rowing, right?
I'm rowing.
He
Yeah.
is.
You see something coming off the starboard port. Sorry, that
Starboard
makes
port? Isn't that the same?
starboard port. You're saying
On both sides.
She's rowing. You guys are rowing 2 different directions all the time. Sometimes the port, sometimes the starboard. No, off the starboard bow, there looks to be some large object that appears to be on an intercept course towards you, and it's bearing down really aggressively. The guys with the ballista.
Do we turn it towards the new thing?
I didn't see it.
Okay. Fire at the old people.
Yeah, I'm going
Okay.
to load it for him, and then he can fire.
I miss horribly.
Miss horribly. Another bolt fires out and goes wide.
Just splashes in the water somewhere.
I'm going to shout out and relay the message to everyone that there's something out in the water on the starboard side so they know as well.
In the Minotaur, he's looking back, and Edinger looks at him and says,
Baalz, what is that? What is that? So, everybody, put your heads down. Put your heads down. Don't mind the rowing. Everybody get down.
So
I get down.
You
Yeah.
see him crouch down. The old man gets down. Ruby, you're already kind of crouched down. You gonna get down a little lower?
She squeezes down even lower.
She hides behind the chum bucket.
Yeah, she's underneath. She's
see
underneath the
this-
seats at this point.
You see this large vessel
Oh shit, that's
start
huge.
to. Whoops. Go ahead and push our boat back a little bit.
That's a warship if I
That
see
way.
one.
God.
You see this start to come into frame.
That's amazing.
Like this. And you see this barrage of bolts just start flying off of its port side towards you guys. But they seem to go really wide, and they strike the following vessel and just take it down to the water line as it just starts sinking. Some of their members that are on board are just impaled and are forced to go down with the wreckage of this boat. And you see the Minotaur, whose name is Baalz, raise his head up and says,
The fire anvil has come and rescued us. Everybody get on board our boat.
Please tell me that's yours.
Of course it's our boat. It's our ship.
So you see that your boat now starts to come alongside, and they start slowing down. You see a group of sea lovers on this thing.
Just call him Seaman.
Sailors, seamen.
You know what?
And
Seamen.
they're all
Yeah.
You gotta emphasize
manning
it.
these armed ballistas and waiting to see if there's anything else that are following you. And you see them lower down this rope ladder and start having you guys start coming aboard. Baalz, he doesn't even wait for you. He immediately grabs the ladder and just starts pulling
Is it
himself up.
balls as in BALLS?
B-A-L-Z. Balls.
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 Is it like
Shaved balls.
Baz.
Is that your last name? Or first? What?
First
Yeah.
name shaved.
It's
First name
only-
Shave?
It's the only
Last name
name.
Balls?
Ruby's making a face of confusion?
Ruby,
By
is
hearing
that
his
true?
name.
Is Baalz? Shaved
Title of
Baalz?
this episode
I
will
don't
be
know.
Balls to the wall. or full balls out. Something like that.
Jesus.
Baalz
Saving
the
my
Minotaur.
balls. That's
Baalz the Minotaur.
title.
Saving balls.
saving
There we go.
balls. There you go.
Saving private balls.
Ship my balls.
So he gets up and he starts storming across the deck, and he's doesn't really wait.
Edinger, get up here.
So the old man follows him up there as well, and I'm assuming everybody else gets on
Oh
board.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
failing.
Nah, you guys are fine. I'm gonna just go back home now. No, I'm kidding.
Looks like mission's complete.
Once they see that you're on board, you see the ship hands begin to leave the ballistas and start going about, doing their shiply duties to start going and getting this thing back underway. It starts cutting and splitting the waves and just starts pulling out. There's no sails on this thing, but it does seem to be powered under some kind of a unusual source, a source that's not readily seen.
Is it magic?
Can I do an Arcana check for
You sure can.
the
Go right
magic
ahead.
and see if I can feel it? Oh, that's only an 8.
You can't feel it, Ruby.
I just can't feel the power.
I think before we go any further, though, you should probably meet Captain One-Eyed Jack.
What? Both of his eyes are fine, right?
He just laughs and walks away.
I need a new axe.
One-eyed
So-
Jack. Oh goodness.
You see one of the
I bet he's got 2 eyes.
other hands kind of motion.
Maybe 3.
I'm
Motions up to
guessing 3.
motions up to the bridge. That's a little further up.
Actually,
At this
it would be a
point.
nice twist if it was a Cyclops.
I was just about to say that.
So
Cyclops,
we'll
please.
turn the map this way so that we can get it onto the table and you guys can figure out where you're all supposed to be.
I'll be
that
close
you?
to the bridge. Yeah, it's me.
That's one big ass trimaran.
It's a nice looking ship.
Go ahead and put your guys where you
It does have on here on the map. It does have a bunch of ballistas and stuff. That's cool.
Yes, it does. It's very well armed indeed. You see that the crew is just a hodgepodge of all kinds of races. You got a dragonborn, you got a half orc, you got a half ogre, whatever he is. You got a dwarf, you got another whatever he is.
Ruby
There's
is
just a whole
wide-eyed.
collage of people around here.
Staring at everybody.
And you see that there's a figure standing up there on the bridge just waiting for you to come and introduce yourselves to the captain. And Edinger makes his way up to the bridge as well and starts standing and he's talking.
Ruby, who's standing next to Rafaslav, she tugs on him and says, are we supposed to follow him?
Come on. Yes.
As
She
you
gets
guys
pushed
make
along.
your way up towards the bridge, you see standing before you this svelte figure in these black leathers. They're just worn out. There's a tight braid behind the person's head. As you turn, you see that it's got the features of a woman, but her right eye has a patch over it. And she looks at you and she says, "Well, welcome aboard the Fire Anvil.
And who would you be?
My name is Captain One-Eyed Jack, short for Jacqueline, of course, but we'll never be that formal where you'll ever call me that name.
Okay.
But before we go any further, the ship doesn't run on good looks, as you can tell. So if you want us to provide any more assistance, we're going to have to talk about compensation.
Okay. What do you want?
Well, let's just say, where are you going?
The island of the damned.
We're going to the island of the damned. And as I
She
say
looked-
that, I produce a small coin purse.
She looks at
Put it
Edinger
in
and,
Well, I was going to get to that, of course, where our destination was.
"Oh, you old sly fox. Haven't you had enough of that place?"
Well, it's really not for me to say. These fine young people came and requisitioned me, of course. I'm just an innocent bystander in all this.
And at that, he kind of walks away from the bridge, goes off to the stern to go hang out with this lumpy dude back there.
Not hanging out on the poop deck.
She looks at you, Vratislav, and she eyeballs your coin purse, kind of reaches out. "I will, of course, require somebody to make compensation for the men that I've lost. 3 of my men did not come back. So what we can do is we could work off some of your passage by you pitching in as deckhands, of course. You're not above that, are you?"
But didn't we save your guy?
Was he not in his own ship when he came here?
But that was because of us.
I didn't see it. I must have only been looking out.
But
my
that's not
other
fair.
eye. Well, have they cut that boat loose yet?
No, no, Captain. Not at all.
As she's saying that,
Just
I
go
drop.
and put this halfling back in the boat. I think that she's land sick, of course.
As that's
Anybody
hap-
else land sick?
As that's happening, I drop in a couple more.
Oh, please
coins.
don't
She
get
can't
carried
see what
away.
they
It's
are.
I'll already tell you. She can't see what you're doing.
No, it's just a non. It is a coin purse.
You're standing on
She
the right
hasn't
side.
seen what's in it yet. There's a good amount of weight to it, but she can hear me as she turns around. I drop in a couple more coins and say, "Of course, we're willing to help."
Well, thank you. Besides the compensation of a little GP here and there, I will be requiring some deckhands. Are any of you above doing that? You half-orc, you're strong and well-grown.
I'm willing to work. What do you need me to do?
Do you know the definition of work?
If it's rowing
Okay,
the boat,
well, that's great.
No.
Do you see any oars off the side of this vessel?
I just
half-orc?
got on board. I did not.
Very well. She's eyeballing each of you in turn. I'll let you all decipher it between yourselves. But for the other three of you, other two of you, it'll be 50 gold pieces each to get you to the island of the damned. Yeah, I'm sorry, did you have a problem with the price there, Mr.
Well,
Ranger?
You'd even check what I offered you.
That's true. But I'm a fair captain, as all my crewmates will attest to. I believe in hard work and hard reward and hard drinking, baby.
Well, what kind of work do you need done?
Well, of course, I'll need the deck swabbed. I'll need the sides of the ship cleaned off of anything that happens to find its way up it. And, of course, make sure that the weapons are oiled and loaded at all times.
It's been a while since I've done grunt work, but sure, why not? Can do it again.
That's fine. Just don't let the others hear you say that it's grunt work. They take it rather personally.
Well, that's what it is. So
Anyways.
I go and grab a mop.
Very good. And there are plenty of quarters below decks. I'm sure that you have all been aware that making your way to the island of the damned is a few days' journey from here. Of course, we'll have to circumvent on a wide trajectory to be sure we're not being followed by any more of your friends back there. At this point, Edinger kind of points up.
Well, sorry to be a disappointment there, Captain, but I do believe that they were Baalz friends that were chasing us.
Don't mince words, old friend. Come, let's go down. Let's have a drink in the galley. And they disappear off the top of the deck, and they kind of leave you guys on board the boat at this point. Few of the deckhands begin to tell you about cleaning the deck and how to scrub some of the barnacles off. At this point, you are now on board the Fire Amble as temporary crewmates. What do you wish to do?
Hey, Ruby.
Yes.
So, you look kind of not exactly fit to be adventuring. Why were you in Scandea?
Well, it's kind of hard to explain. I guess I had this being come to me and said that I was set on a mission, and they gave me some powers and kind of a quick lesson, and I just met you guys.
Some thing gave you that?
It came down from the sky with a glowing light, and it told me I owed it a debt. And it promised me it wasn't evil, and it promised me it was good.
That's
promising.
reassuring.
I hope. I mean, what other beings come down without? It's great light, and it came in the form of a great elk, and it's so overwhelming even speaking about it.
Well, sure. That's kind of weird. Some large glowing elk came and gave you magic powers.
Well, don't forget the part where it said it wasn't evil.
Oh, yes, of course, because all good things say they're not evil.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, So if it's good and it says it's good, then how do I know if it's good?
You don't.
Well, I don't know. It told me to go on this mission and it mentioned some things about my parents, and I really felt that I had to do this. And
How long ago was this?
About how long have we been on? Side note, 2 weeks.
I think it's been about 2 days.
Oh, about 2 days since we met and been here.
Yeah, in Scandea.
Since we met
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, at the market.
It's been about a week.
So you've had a week ago, some magic elk from the sky came down and said you owe him a debt, and then he gave you magic powers?
Good people collect debts all the time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
not-
sounds about right.
that does,
I was just a normal halfling 2 weeks ago, just minding my own business.
I don't know what kind of debt you owed him, because giving you magic powers for owing him a debt, that seems...
It wasn't so much
like
of
a
owing
great
him a
deal.
debt, so much as he requested something of me.
Did he say what he requested from you?
Just he sent me to Scandea, and he said that the universe would take over from there.
Well, I hope this is what the universe has in mind.
I'm assuming so. I mean, I met you've wonderful folk.
Yeah. Novacek's fine, I
She's
guess.
looking very star-eyed at everyone.
Rotislav, what are you thinking at this point?
At this point where they're all talking, I'm just going to go around the ship and start performing duties, make myself, worthy, checking knots,
Now, there's
assisting people.
There's 2 ways to go below decks, too. There's one just forward of the bridge and just below this front bow area as well. So you
Okay.
definitely know there's lower quartered areas as well.
No, right now I'm just pitching in, helping out any crew members I can to make
Okay.
it, I'm here, I'm helping.
Okay, the
Kind of
Dragonborn's
thing.
more than happy to take you under his wing and kind of show you how to go about cleaning the ballistas and stuff and making sure that the quivers are fully stocked as well. Eldon,
I am going to do a really crappy job of cleaning the deck. Just because that's not something I'm good at, but I'm going to at least pretend to help out.
okay. The front, the back, which side?
Let's see. Probably the back.
The back?
Yeah.
Okay, you notice that the door that leads down in the back is open, by the way. It's like not fully secured. It's just,
Does it look enticing?
I don't know. Are you one of the type of people that are easily enticed?
I'll clean near there and see if I hear anything.
Okay. Rafu.
Where
Now
is-
you're a barbarian from the plains, right? This is probably like the first time that you've ever been on a large body of water.
This is the first time I've seen water to begin with.
By the smell, I could agree with that. But that's okay.
Are you seasick?
A little bit. Where is the captain quarters on this boat?
Towards the rear.
Towards
They
the
went
rear.
towards the galley, which is towards the front of the vessel.
Okay. I want to go below deck and kind of see what's going on down there. Kind of check out sleeping quarters if they have any.
Okay, as you
So I see him
as you
passing, right?
pass Eldon, you just
Nonchalantly.
yeah. Am I going to pinch this thing off out? You start making your way down below deck without really thinking. Are you like being stealthy, or you like just fuck it? This is my place now.
Just kind of cruising around, like trying to see what my duties are, see if someone kind of catches me. Not being
Nobody's
stealthy,
really
I'm just kinda-
noticing. All the other people are more up on the higher portions of the deck, kind of keeping busy and everything. Vrothislav's talking with the Dragonborn. Ruby's talking with Rowley. The only person that really notices that you've gone below deck is Eldon.
Okay.
So, you guys going to play that up a little bit, or what do you want to
I
do?
want to see what's actually moving this boat.
Okay.
Can I move my way down to see if there's any oars in the water or anything like that, or what's powering this thing? Can I roll perception to?
Sure. Go ahead.
And horribly, that is a 4.
Okay, you're definitely not seeing anything, but even below decks, though, the hull is sealed. Like you're not seeing any oars in the water or anything. You're just
Any
you're walking
portholes or
through
nothing like that?
you're walking through a narrow causeway, and there's just a few doors on either side, and there's one door that's all the way in the back, that is more ornate than the rest of the doors.
Am I able to go another level? How many levels?
It's just one level.
Just
below.
one level.
That you know of. It's just one level.
So that would be like the sleeping quarters.
Well, yeah, there's doors on left and to the left and right, and there's one more ornate door at the far end.
I want to carefully open the door to the left
Okay.
and then stealthily do it. That would be 13.
It opens smoothly on its hinge,
Okay.
and you see there's a like a dresser there. You see a hammock for whoever's sleeping there. A few toiletries and whatnot. A few personal effects.
So it's someone's special quarters.
It's just 8 quarters. Yes.
Just 8 quarters? Okay.
Yeah. It's most likely for one of the deckhands.
Let's move out to the bigger door. And I want to
The one that's at the ornate.
Yes.
There's 2 regular ones on either side.
I figured that one was
And then-
probably
yeah.
just another quarter, so let's go to the far back one.
Okay.
And stealthily opening it as well, and that would be 15.
15. It opens easy on its hinge as well. You see that this is a different type of a room. There is a bed with a large, almost like a half of a captain's wheel, but it's been severed in half, and they used it as like a headboard. You see that there's a dresser with all these really cool trinkets and stuff, and there's this one little box that's sitting atop of it as well.
I want to go in for a closer look.
Okay.
Great mischief on the boat
I
already.
know, this is the barbarian thief.
Are you
Not a
accidentally going to
thief.
steal from the captain?
I'm not going to steal. I'm just curious. I want to open it.
Okay. You open it and you see what appears to be, and I want you to roll a d20.
And you're cursed
ahead.
forever.
What is it?
It's a 3.
It's a 3.
Natural 3.
You see a card laying in this box. That's all you see is the card. And I don't know what this card is, by the way. I know of the 2 cards that were there, but that was the one that is in the box at the time.
Look at it. Look at it. Look at it.
Be cursed forever.
Look at it.
I'm down to be cursed. I grab the card. Oh, do pause.
Grab the card. Do it.
So what did you do?
I'm going to grab the card.
Okay.
I'm not sure what that is.
No, you're not. And you'll probably have to research it at that point.
Cursed forever.
There is a card, and it says Vezier on it. It looks as though it had been drawn in blood.
Always good news.
Yes.
Cursed forever.
Now it is
cursed
now in
forever.
your hands, and the box that it came out of is still open.
Can I put the card back?
That would be the wrong answer.
Probably, right? I don't want this card.
The buzzer had already said no. Wrong answer.
I'm taking the card and closing the box
Okay, you gently close the box.
Cursed forever. Cursed forever.
and walk out the room.
Okay, do you close the door?
I'm going to close the door on my way out as well.
Okay. So you creep back through the hallways, or through the causeway, and you make your way back up the stairs.
Yeah, I'm looking for maybe like a mop on my way up there, or like a broom or
I
something.
hand him a mop.
Eldon, you see him come up from the stairs, and I'm not sure what you look like at this point.
Yeah, what is your face like
A little
after
pale.
seeing that?
I think it's mainly because I'm seasick, but I'll get my sea legs under me.
Yeah,
pretty soon.
I quickly hand him a mop, or my mop actually, and I lean over and I say, "We'll talk about this later." And then I let go of my mop. I don't know if you're gonna catch it, and then I start put my hands behind my back and start whistling and walking away.
I reach for it, stumbly grab it, and it just drops to the ground. I pick it back up and kind of pretend to do some work on the deck.
Well, you want to know what the card means?
Kind of.
Too
yeah.
fucking bad. That's the end of the session. All right.
Cursed
All
forever.
right.
I'm
Cursed
gonna be
forever.
cursed.
Well, we'll have to find out next session. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Roll the Hard 20 Podcast. You can contact us at rollthehard20podcast@gmail.com. And please visit the website at rollthehard20podcast.com.
Thank you.
Anybody want to say anything?
Rafu is cursed forever.
Oh, he's going to
Subscribe.
die.
I'm super
You're gonna
screwed.
so
Tune in for
fucking
next
die.
week. Come
Bratislav,
back.
you cheap bastard. You screwed
How
that
much are you
captain out.
giving him?
Her.
It's for me
Whatever.
to know and you to find out.
Well, that's not gonna happen. I don't care enough.
She's still gonna find it.
Ruby doesn't know what money
Out
is.
of a ballista.
We're out.